And I want to go here, folks. I'm pretty excited. Look, the crypto market's off. And a lot of people think that's bad, but it's not. It's actually a beautiful thing. And I'm going to show you exactly why today. I don't know if you're following crypto prices, but it looks like Bitcoin is kind of testing the $108,000 level. And I'd like to show you why I think that is a good thing. Anybody want to see why I like this? Right? Why would Brian want my precious crypto to go down? Well, let me show you. First of all, we're going to jump over here to a page called CoinMarketCap, which shows the total market capitalization of all crypto. Raise your hand if you can see this. Alex, you can probably see this, right? Kate can see it, and a few others. Nice, Romana as well, and so can Ryan, I think. Well, what do we see here? Well, Bitcoin's at 108, okay, down from its all-time high of, I'm just going to highlight this thing here, of what, 125 it hit, like what, 10 days ago. Ethereum's down from almost 5,000 down to 4,300. You see that. But what's the number that I love about this whole chart? What I love is the number up here on top called altcoin index. Now let's drill into this number and find out what the hell this means. Can you see this right now, Ryan? Do you see this, Alex? This is what no one's talking about, okay? Now you can see from this graph here that we're currently at 58, all right? Can everybody see where my mouse is right now? It's kind of hovering over that 58 number. This is the highest it's been in 4 years, okay? If you can see, it wasn't long ago where it was down here at 15 and 16, okay? That was in June. That's like 2 months ago, all right? And now it's gone from 16 up to 58. You can see from this graph, when it crosses 75, we are in full-on altcoin season. When it stays below 25, it means we're in Bitcoin season, which, let's be honest, we've been there for the past 2 years, and it's been great if you own Bitcoin, but it sucked if you own anything else, all right? Now, what is this altcoin index? How is it measured? Well, look at the top 100 coins performance over the last 90 days. Do you see all the green here? Ryan, you can see the green. So Ramura, can we see all the green? These are all the coins that have outperformed Bitcoin. Chronos, which is the crypto.com token. OKB. We've got Chainlink, obviously. We've got Story Protocol, one of the things we're invested in here called IP. We've got Solana. We've got HBAR. We've got Aave. Look, all the way down here to where BTC is. So there's 58 of these top 100 that have outperformed Bitcoin. And then you've got all the ones that have underperformed Bitcoin, okay? You've got things like Sandbox. You've got things like Jupiter, which is a DEX on Solana. You got Fartcoin not doing so well. Oh, well, I won't lose any sleep over that. You got Pump as well. And so look, as more of these things go into the green, that index is going to go higher and higher and higher. Up until about 3 or 4 months ago, Bitcoin was outperforming everything. And this is what we're looking at. When this hits 70, 75, the members of my investment club are going to start making millions and tens of millions of dollars because we've invested in what we call altcoins, right? These smaller cap coins that are going to make a ton of money when the market goes up. And so that's what we're watching right now. I don't care as much if Bitcoin goes down. What I want to see is the rest of the coins all getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Does this make sense to everybody here? Now, who here owns some Bitcoin or some Ethereum? Just hands up if you own some of those. Okay, pretty much everybody. Keep them up if you own something besides Bitcoin and Ethereum. Okay, so Ryan, Zoom. It's okay, Angela, you might have bought that cheeky meme coin, got that Trump coin when it first came out. Lord knows I hold a little bit. And so that's okay. Well, no judgment here. And so look, for everybody with their hand up, which is about half of us, those are the coins that are going to make you more money in the next 3 months. That's just the case. People are calling for a 150K Bitcoin, maybe 175K Bitcoin. What is that? That's a 30% increase. I mean, who wants to make 30% on your money in crypto? You might as well go back to the tech markets and invest in stocks. We're here to make 10x, 20x, and 30x returns. Who wants to make that kind of money? Anybody here? That's why I'm here, right? That's why I'm in crypto. I'm not here for the heart attacks and the craziness and the volatility, right? That's what I'm here. And that's what we're going to do. And that's all happening with alt season. And we actually believe it's not going to happen in September. We believe it's going to happen in mid to late October. And I'll explain why later. We do think that some of the money is going to bleed back into Bitcoin in the short run. And we actually have to hit some of these lows before we can go higher. Does that concept make sense to everybody in here? Just hands up. You can't have a one-way rally. It's just, it's almost like a law of nature. It's actually a stochastic distribution, which means every day there is some real randomness to it. And until you get rid of some of the weak hands and the paper hands and the people that don't really believe, it's hard to hit the newer high. So we hit 125K on Bitcoin. We almost hit 5,000 on Ethereum. To think it's going to go from 5,000 to 6,000 to 7,000 is naive. to think Bitcoin goes from 125K to 135K to 145K. It doesn't work that way. We're going to have to be a pullback. So I was just walking around today and I was yelling at my phone. A couple of ladies were looking at me funny. And I was like, go die, die, die. Let's touch 105 in Bitcoin. Let's go below 4,000 in Ethereum. Let's clear out all the suckers so we can bring the strong money in and take this to new highs. Is everybody with me on that theory there? Okay, good stuff. All right, good. Now, how many people here are in our current Crypto and DeFi Academy or in our next Crypto and DeFi Academy? Just hands up. Kate's in our current, Angela's in our next, Ryan's in our current as well, Kristen's in our current. Okay, awesome. Great stuff. All right, good. So you guys know, and our next class starts Monday, and I'll mention that a little bit. But today I want to talk about some of the big things happening behind the scenes. A lot of people are making a lot of money. Eric Trump was speaking today in Hong Kong at the Bitcoin conference, talking about Bitcoin to $1 million is a no-brainer. And from there, it's going higher. He was talking about how the Trump family is all in on crypto. And I just want to say we welcome them to the party. It took them a few extra years than it took us, but we're glad they're here. And look, they're a smart family. They're great entrepreneurs. And it's just a great endorsement of what we've been doing here for 4 years. When the Trump family goes all in on DeFi, which is what we did 4.5 years ago, and they've gone all in on the ecosystem. And folks, we're just getting warmed up. We really are. The next 6 months in crypto are going to be outstanding. It's going to make millionaires, decamillionaires, and centimillionaires, and obviously even some billionaires. So let's jump in. Last chance to turn cameras on. So Graham and Udi on. Martini's going to throw you out of the room. We like to see faces, and that's what we do here. If you have any questions, hit me up in the chat. I'm going to move fast. I'm going to play for you some videos you've never seen before. I'm going to show you how we're making a bunch of money behind the scenes. And we're doing it in a way you've probably never heard of before. And I'll literally show you the deals. I'll show you some of the deals we're investing in right now. And I'll show you a bunch of the possibilities. Does that sound good for everybody here? All right, let's rock and roll, and let's jump into this thing. Hot off the presses, Garrett Burns. Look at you coming in, looking good. It's always the good-looking ones like Garrett that have their cameras off. I never understand that, Martini. Okay, here we go. Folks, thumbs up if you can see two good-looking guys here that both love crypto. Yeah, we like this. Okay, here we go. And here's the news. It's either Rockefellers or Rothschilds, right? And I'm going to talk about what this really means later. But Bitcoin right now is teetering on this $84 trillion price earthquake. And I'll explain to you why that number comes to mind. But we're literally looking at the future dynasties of the world. Now, the Trump family is going all in. Eric Trump's in American Bitcoin. Donald Trump's on a bunch of boards that they're investing early stage. They've got World Liberty Financial. They got so many things like that. And so we're pretty excited just to see that kind of happen. And it's just going to move forward. And the question is, what family do you want to be in? And do you want your family to be involved in this? Before we get started, just want to say this presentation is for information purposes only. It's not intended to be investment advice. If you are looking for that, please go find a professional. And I also want to give everybody here a free gift before we start. This is module 1 of our super premium program called the Investment Club. And this 19-page PDF document is going to show you how startups raise money on the blockchain. We're pretty excited about it. If you're on the live stream and later you want to download it, you can go to londonville.tv/download. But to all of the beautiful people here that decided to come join us on Zoom, I'm actually going to send it to you right now via the powers of the Zoom chat. And so if everybody can check your chat room right now, I'm actually going to send you this module. Can everybody just see? Sometimes the tech is a little tricky on Zoom, but I'm sending you module 1 right now. If you get it, can you just reply back with the word yes, just YES, nothing more than that. And just let me know if you got it. Hold on, 3, 2, 1. Let me know if you got it and check it out. Just reply yes if you get it here. Did anybody get it here? Anybody? Hit me with a yes. Everybody should have it. It's a PDF document. Just check your messages. Anybody? No? Not coming through, Martini? Okay, Ryan's got it. Oh, Romana sent me a yes. Can all of you just send me the word yes? That would be a beautiful thing. Okay, good. All right, so you've got it, which is amazing. And let's jump back into this presentation. Again, please give that a read after we get done. I also want to give you a second present, and that is how to find the hottest crypto presale tokens in 3 easy steps. And this is a video, and I'm going to give you a link to this video at the end of the presentation. And it's going to talk about how we use these things called SAFs, and it's going to show you what a crypto token presale is. So I'll give you that at the end. Folks, Pre-selling is how we're making all the money behind the scenes. Nobody's teaching this, and no one's giving access to the deal flow like we are. And it's a practice of secretly buying tokens from a CEO before they are offered to anybody else on the blockchain. Has anyone here heard of an IPO before? Just raise your hand if you've heard one of those things before. Kate knows, Angela knows, Ryan knows, Adrian knows. Yeah, it's an initial public offering. And it's the very first time the public has access to a stock. Facebook did it about 8 years ago. Before that, you have to be a private investor to get access. And what happens typically, as you know, Adrian, is the price spikes a lot of times on an IPO. Well, the same thing happens with tokens. We are buying these for pennies on the dollar behind the scenes. And when they get listed on a Bybit, when they get listed on a Coinbase, when they get listed on a Kraken, a lot of times they go up 3x, 5x, 10x, 20x, and I'll show you some of the results. This is the way that we have found to systematically print money behind the scenes. But it's something not everybody can do. And I'm going to explain to you how we're able to get access to these deals and why London Real is probably one of the few people that can actually do this. Folks, a lot of you probably have heard of this token. It's called Solana. Raise your hand if you know this one. Yeah, it's one of the big cryptos out there. Maybe some of you own some as well. Well, did you know you could have bought this as a pre-sale token for 4 pennies each? Raise your hand if you knew that before, without have seen this before, right? Kate knew that, okay. Right? Imagine paying 4 pennies for something now you have to pay $200 for now today, right? Now, if you had bought that pre-sale token, if you had put $1,000 in, just 1,000, Ryan, that one investment would be worth $5 million today. That's real money, okay? Who here could use an extra $5 million right about now? Anybody? Right? Ramana's like, no, Brian, not for me. More money, more problems, right, Ramana? Keep things simple, right? But look, the truth is 5 million can buy some real freedom. And if you're already balling like Ramana clearly is, then you just park another Bugatti in the garage. All right. I know a guy in Dubai if you need one. All right. And so this money, it represents choices. Okay. One of my mentors came on my show about 10 years ago and he said, Brian, I have more money than you, which means I have more choices than you. Right. That's what he told me with a big smile on his face. I was like, okay. And so what we want to give you is more choices. Does that make sense to everybody here? That's what this is about. Okay, good. And that's exactly what we're doing behind the scenes. And by the way, this is a deal that we did just a few months ago. And what you see here is a screenshot of a legal document that we use to invest in the company. Now, can everyone see the blue circle here on the screen? Just raise your hand if you can actually see that number. Okay, yeah, it's $200,000. That's our typical investment in the companies we go in. Can everyone see the red circle here? That's the price we paid per token. Now that's 1.25 pennies, not $1.25. We bought these cheaper than the Solana token. All right, even cheaper. And what happened? Well, in about 4 hours, we made $4 million. Not a bad day, right? I don't even think I did that when I was a banker on Wall Street. That's pretty good P&L, right? And the company was called Skillful AI. It's artificial intelligence on the blockchain. And the token was up 20x at the launch, right? Simple. Now, this is the CEO of that company. His name is Zoltan. And when you get an investment from London Real, you get an interview on London Real. Now, some of you are starting to put the puzzle together, right, Adrian? That's how Brian gets the deals because the CEOs want the media. Correct. I'll go into that more later. And after the interview, he said, Brian, this thing's going to 100x. Hold on to your tokens. It'll be worth $20 million. I said, okay, I'll spread the word to all of our investors behind the scenes. And then he said something to me that really shocked me. He said, Brian, I want to join your investment club. I want access to these deals too. And I was taken aback. I was like, Zoltan, I see you on stage at the conferences. I see you with the big VCs. Surely you see deal flow better than me. He said, no, your media company gets you better deal flow than me. You get cheaper tokens than I can get, and you get the tokens faster than I'll ever get them. He said, sometimes I have to wait 3 years to get all my tokens. He said, I've seen your deals. You get them in 3 months. He said, that's unheard of. And I thought, wow, I didn't bring you here to pitch you on my investment club, even though I do pitch pretty much everybody I see. I didn't expect him to say that. And I said, look, there's only one way to join the club. You have to talk to Martini. And she doesn't do discounts, no matter how many pictures you have of you and me together. And he said, give me your number. And so 2 weeks later, he had joined. And so honestly, folks, I think it's one of the greatest testimonials if one of our portfolio companies actually decided to join this investment club. He's done about 13 deals, and you'll see him on a bunch of the Zoom calls if you ever drop by. Folks, this is another deal we did. It was called Shrapnel, and this is a game on the blockchain itself. So a lot of you know some games like Call of Duty or Grand Theft Auto. And this is actually one of those, but it's on the blockchain. And this was up 20x in 20 days, made my group a $5 million profit. And this is the CEO, Mark Long, who flew in from Seattle just to have his interview. Folks, this is the Mochaverse. It's the digital ID system for the massive gaming conglomerate known as Animoca Brands. It's quite famous. This is the chairman of Animoca named Yatsu. He's become a good friend. He's been on the show about 7 times, and we've done about 8 investments with their company. Most of them have made us a boatload of money. This was up 20x on launch, and in the next year, I'm expecting at least another 20x on this. And that's real money, folks. If you would put $10,000 on this deal, that one trade would be worth $200,000, okay? Not enough to retire for some of you big ballers out there, Adrian, but it's enough to give you a breathing room, right? To maybe you can probably start making some changes in your life. And that's what we want to give you. This is Story Protocol. This one was up 22x, and it was the very first time we invested with a massive venture capital company called Andreessen Horowitz, right? These guys are famous. They're one of the biggest in the world. Mark Andreessen has been on Joe Rogan's show 2-3 times. They're big players in the space. And maybe it's not a big surprise that we did so well on this deal. When you invest alongside smart money, you make big money. And Martini, I think we got about 50 people that invested in this deal. And, they're going to make millions and millions and millions of dollars on this one trade. And we're really excited about that. Folks, this is one of the meme coins we invested in. It was up 14x on the launch. And one of our members named Christina, she put in $30,000 of this with her mom. And she woke up the next day to a $420,000 profit. She actually thought her phone was broken. She sent us a screenshot, said, Brian, there's something broken with my wallet. We're like, no, that's real. And that's real money, okay? And I'm not saying, again, $420,000 is enough to retire on, but it's not a bad Wednesday, right? Would anybody else like to wake up on a Wednesday morning and check your wallet to that, right? Few of you, right? It's a nice way to start that wealth journey. And of course, this is the $1 billion fund we invested in called 1RT. This is the guy that runs it, Dan Tapiero, and he is, as I've been saying for the last 3 years, the greatest trader I've ever met, and I've met them all. This guy has taken our very conservative fund that only invested in actually equities, the stocks, not the tokens themselves. We were expecting a 20-25% return, would have been amazing. He's already 4x'd this entire fund, and he's on pace for next year to be the highest return fund in the world, right? Crazy Martini, right? We at Martini's in on this deal. I'm in on this deal, as about 50 of our members are. And you can look at the companies in his portfolio. They're all IPOing right now on the New York Stock Exchange. Circle, the stable coin, already IPO'd. eToro, IPO'd. Gemini is coming up. Kraken is coming up. I mean, this guy is just picking winner after winner after winner. And we're about to go in on his new fund as well. And it just shows you we're just really having success after success after success. Folks, I want to show you some of the latest deals that we're in. And I'm going to play for you a video of the actual deals. And these are still open. So if you want to get into them, you can actually get in and reach out to Martini right away. The first one I want to show you is a deal called Crypto Nights. Now, Crypto Nights is like Shark Tank, the show, but it's for crypto. Has anyone seen that show, Shark Tank, right? With those sharks that go on the thing. It's got that Kevin guy who can't dress to save his life. It's got the other guy, Mark Cuban, that should stop tweeting one of these days. And it's kind of boring, and they invest their own money and they get rich, and we just get to watch. On our investment club and in Crypto Nights, the people that watch get to get more involved. And so this is Crypto Nights. It's a deal that we're filling up right now. I think we got about $25,000 left inside this deal. And it's something that we're really excited about. They're already on Amazon Prime with 30 million views. You can actually go watch this right now on Amazon Prime. And one of the things we like about it is it gets media eyeballs and money on the actual companies themselves. And that's a really hard thing to do because trying to magnify them is tricky. And this is a little bit more about Crypto Nights.
It looks like a very good project.
Production value is really high.
We've never seen anything like it.
There's a lot of opportunity here.
Crypto Nights is not just a TV show, it is a complete ecosystem. Some people call it the Shark Tank for crypto. Projects from across the globe come and pitch to a very elite set of investors. We're an Emmy Award nominated production team. I've been in the entertainment business for about 20 years. We started generating revenue even before we started filming season 1. We generated $4.9 million worth of token revenue. In season 2, we are anticipating $6 million. Plus, Our goal is really to make this a global brand, and we want to lead this space with Kryptonites.
VC funding for crypto projects is not as robust as it was last year. Is that a challenge for you right now?
From our point of view, that's not a big challenge. Projects need us more now than ever before because we give them access to that capital. Folks like Blue Whale, I think they raised like over $1 million in that one session. So that's where we make that massive difference.
So if I own some Knight tokens, I'm owning a small piece of every company that's coming on your program in the future.
That's true, every single company. By simply buying the Kryptonite token, you could end up owning 100 different tokens.
2 thumbs up if you like this play. Arno's up, Jose 2 up, Christopher is in, Tracy's in, Federica's in, Oliver's in, Trevor's in, Camille's in, KN's in. Dr. Encore, your thoughts?
They've got the media distribution to actually help these projects do well and get the word out.
It has an excellent format. Seems to be very experienced in the media. He understands the crypto market, the crypto environment.
So this is an unusual project. It really is diversifying our portfolio. They already have a proven track record of being profitable in season 1.
I love the idea that it's not only investing in the production company, but also potential to invest in the other projects. I'm really excited about this one.
What do we think? Pretty cool, right? Pretty exciting, quite unique. What I love about this is this fact. By the way, 4 of our portfolio companies appeared on Crypto Nights and got money. One of them called Blue Whale AI, which is a highly anticipated AI blockchain company. They got $1 million on that show. So what I like about this company is, first of all, we own tokens in a crypto media company, which I think is the future. It's what we do as well. Second thing is we get tokens in every single company that goes on the show, and they only take the best companies. But the best part is that the companies that go on the show get up to $10 million in funding. So not only do you have great companies, but they're funded and they have a media push. And we get tokens in all of those companies, plus the actual Crypto Night tokens itself. You're just not going to see anything like this in Web3. There's not going to be another Web3 reality show you're going to have access to. And so we're scooping it up. What you also see is the format of the calls we have on Mondays and Thursdays. And by the way, you're all welcome to join us on those calls. The next one is going to be on Monday at 7 p.m. UK time, Thursday, 6 p.m. UK time. Send Martini a DM right now. If you're nice to her, she'll invite you on the call. And again, you'll see this format. It's like Shark Tank, but more fun. And what happens is the CEOs come on, they present to the group. I ask them really hard questions. We see if they can take the heat. If not, they got to get out of the kitchen. If we like the deal, everybody votes thumbs up or thumbs down. If we get enough people in the club that want to join and start the deal, then we go ahead and move forward. But we only do it if the group all agrees. And so it's really unique. It's an amazing way to learn. And we find that once people show up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 calls, even if you don't have investing experience, even if you don't have crypto experience, you'll really start to get a vibe. We were on the call last night, right, Martini? And we had a couple newbies on the call, a couple of women. And I was like, what'd you think? And they're like, look, my background's not blockchain, but something didn't feel right about that CEO, right? Angela, you said that, right? Angela was here. She was on the call last night. Angela was like, there's something missing about that. Something felt off about that CEO. And everyone was like nodding their head. We're like, yeah, it's like, it was all there logically, but we were missing the enthusiasm. We were missing something that just felt off. And you know, that sometimes is a really good gut reaction. And it only happens when you get a live presentation. Sometimes they're a little nervous because there's 30, 40 of us there. They're not used to that. I'm asking them hard questions to see, can they answer the question? Do we believe their answers? And so sometimes it's not about knowing the blockchains and the DeFi. It's about knowing people. And do you trust this CEO with your money to go out in a difficult market? And they're going to have to push forward every day. They're going to have to pivot that company and bring us back a big fat 10x, 20x return. And if you're not feeling it on the call, then Angela, you did the right thing. It's, you know, off with their heads, right? I would hate to see Angela back in the Roman Colosseum. She'd been like, kill them all, right? And so look, that's what we do. And it's a great way, and it's a great way to learn. So drop by on the next call. That's what we do inside the investment club, and you can come by as a visitor if you like. Look, the next deal I want to show you is something we're really excited about. It is a company that's been created and run by an MIT Sloan School professor. I went to MIT, so I got a soft spot for these people. And he has a patent on something called A-to-A technology. That's agent-to-agent artificial intelligent technology. Now, what does that mean? Look, a lot of you know about AI. Raise your hand if you're playing with AI in the backgrounds or you started to hear about it. Well, it's one thing if, you have one AI that's going to do something for you like ChatGPT. But the future is to have multiple AIs working as a team to do something for you. So think about it this way, Romana. You've got your AI travel agent, you got your AI fitness coach, you got your AI parental helper, right? You've got your AI relationship expert, and you've got your AI company person, and they all work together to optimize your life. To do that, it's quite complicated, right? They have to work with each other, they have to compensate each other, and there's a whole technology around that. This company called Synergetics already has big Web2 clients, right? Big Fortune 100 companies. They're getting investment from some of these companies, and we're expecting their token to come out sometimes in the next 60 to 90 days. We love this deal. It's actually filling up really fast, but this is just one of the many deals we get access to. This is Synergetics, and here is the CEO now.
I think it's really incredible.
Great presentation. The guy definitely knew what he was talking about.
This is their multi-billion-dollar unicorn, a legacy play.
I have a track record of actually delivering on startups. That's just me. This is me in the Agentic AI working group at MIT. We got written up in Forbes and MSN organically. And then we were also highlighted by NVIDIA at the Microsoft conference. And we have partnerships with Google, Plug and Play, Guidewire, and so on. So we are sort of like the creme de la creme of the people on this decentralized AI. We are a company that's powering the agent economy. Avatars, chatbots, voice agents, and embedded systems. So the market for this is roughly $70 billion, and we believe that we can take a market share of about $7 billion out of this. We have actually deployed agents in the field. We are currently generating revenues. This year we plan to crack low 7 digits.
Show me some thumbs here, please, everybody on the call. So Camille likes it, Christopher Molson likes it, Petia likes it, Daniel Walker likes it. We got Jacqueline Capstead with 2 thumbs up, 2 up from Paul, 2 up from Henry Shiner.
I think this can be a real success. I do see the differentiators with the many other agentic plays we've seen.
He really knows his stuff, his experience. I think it's really incredible.
I'm actually working for a financial institution, and we're currently implementing a lot of the AI agents that he's talking about.
You don't teach at MIT Sloan unless you're somebody that's up there. And he's had successful exits for large amounts of money.
We're investing in an expert in his field, and he is at the top of his level.
What do we think? Pretty cool, right? Very interesting. And look, we look at these deals all the time. We'll look at 200, 250 companies this year, and we say no to most of them. 80, 90%, we give them a thumbs down. And so we really have a good track record. And when someone like that comes in and the whole group was impressed, we get almost 100% thumbs up, then we go for it. And that's what we do, folks. We think there's only a limited time left before the whole altcoin season goes crazy, but there's still time left. We think 5 is probably the minimum number of deals you want going into a season like that. 10 is better, 20 is better. If there's somebody in the club that has 70, that's even better. And so it just depends on your resources and how much you want to make in this crypto cycle. So that's what we do behind the scenes. If you want to join us for our next call on Monday, just send Martini a DM and we can show you that. It's a lot of fun. Folks, a lot of people are asking us, how does London Real pick so many winners? It's one thing to have 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, but to consistently have 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14 massive successes, like how do you do it? And we thought about it long and hard, and we concluded that success is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. Folks, this ain't our first rodeo. We have been doing this in the trenches since May of 21. Okay, that's a long time. We were here when Bitcoin peaked in November 21 at 69,000, and we were here when Bitcoin hit an all-time low of 16,000 in November 22. All right, we never stopped. We never missed a week. We kept investing. We kept teaching. And now the entire market knows us as hardcore players, right? They know us as OGs in this space. And we now have an incredible network, an incredible track record, and now a real system of making money. And that's what we're doing with all the people behind the scenes. Folks, a lot of you probably felt like Drake here on the top. You've invested in crypto on your own and you've had a bad experience. How many people here have ever lost money in crypto? Raise your hands. Come on, be honest. Thank you, Mr. Zoom attendee, Adrian. Anybody who hasn't, yeah, most people have, right? And that's the problem. People jump into crypto. They don't know what to buy. They go on X. They follow somebody with a fake name and a fake picture that tells them to buy a fake coin. The next day it's down 50%. And they say, to hell with this market. I don't want anything to do with this. And they leave. And it's a shame because crypto's not about buying meme coins and praying at night. That's not what it's about. It's a whole new financial system. It's about the internet of ownership. It's finally about really taking your own sovereignty over when it comes to your money. And so there's another way of doing this, folks. You can come alongside myself and the London Real team and the investment club and London Real Ventures, and we will show you a systematic way to make money over time, period. We're here for the next 10, 20 years to make a boatload of money, make lifelong friends, and change the world forever. That's what we're doing. And it's called the investment club. I don't know if you've ever struggled with money. Has anyone here ever been stressed out about money in your life? Man, I think we all have, right? I mean, I was a mess with money until I was 30 years old. I mean, literally a mess. I mean, I made some big salaries too. I was working on Wall Street, balling and spending every dollar and then some, right? American Express had a hitman looking for me. He used to call my dad at night and harass him. And I was like 27 years old. And he's like, Brian, like, really? Like, is this going to happen till you're 47 years old? And I was like, yeah, Dad, I got to figure this out. And so I've been there, right? It's hard to get ahead because schools teach us to be poor. How many people know what I'm talking about, right? Schools teach you to be poor, right? They don't teach you about money. They teach you to compete with each other, not to create. And so if you really want to change your future, you've got to unplug from the matrix. You've got to stop waiting for someone to give it to you. And you got to go grab it, Adrian. You got to go take it. And if you think saving your money is the way to financial freedom, you're off your damn rocker, okay? Putting your money in the bank and watching it turn into nothing is what you're doing. Do you know that the dollar has lost 30% of its value in the last 5 years? 30%. So if you put $1 in the bank, it'd be worth 70 cents today. How's that working out for you, right? What if you think your corporation is going to take care of you? Is that going to happen, Adrian? Your pension? No. What about your government? How's that Social Security working out, right? It's all failed. What about your bankers? You want to give them your money? You know, they're going to eat it up in fees and you will literally have nothing out left. I know, I used to work in a bank. So what's the last choice? Digital assets. Digital assets is your way to unplug from the matrix, right? You can start buying Bitcoin and Ethereum. You can invest in these companies and it's your money. How many people here have money in a bank account right now? How many people have your money in a bank account? Some of you. That's actually, you don't, Adrian, because it's not your money. The bank has custody of your money and they will return it to you if they feel like it. Isn't that fun? Has anyone here tried to get money out of your bank recently? Right? Are you kidding me? Yeah, you might as well go in there with a gun. You'll get it out faster, right? Oh, why do you need this money, Adrian? What are you going to use it for? Whoa, hold on a second. It's my money, right? Last time I checked, it's my goddamn money, pardon my language. And so, you know, but now they're not even giving you your money. And so we're in a really scary time right now. Your government is literally, they say taxation is theft and inflation is theft. So everybody left and right is trying to take your money away from you. You better come up with a new plan is what I would say. And that's exactly why we created the investment club, to solve these problems for really London Reelers around the world. And look, if this is of interest to you, the best way to find out more about it is to book a call with Martini. I'll talk about this at the end, but sometimes people don't make it through the presentation, and I want them to know that we have the solution to your problems about money, all right? It's one of the biggest problems that are out there. Most relationships end because of money, all right? That's just a true story. And this is the one thing that stresses out people the most. And again, if this is of interest to you and you want to really look into this, then take one of these links here or click on one of the chat links, book a call with Martini and have a conversation with her. She's spoken with thousands of people. It's not necessarily the right thing for everybody, but for some people, it's the thing they've been searching for a very long time. Folks, we also have a 4-week crypto and DeFi academy that starts on Monday. And there's a bunch of members in here. Kate Dixie's graduating. Angela's going to be on the next class. And there's a few other people here. Kristen right now is in the current one. And it's really an amazing course. We discounted it by 60%. It's only $999. And it's 4 weeks, 4 modules. It's an invitation-only program. And you get 8 hours of live calls with me. You get access to our online e-learning platform. I've got tons of videos and workbooks. I've got a triple-tiered accountability system. You have to do the work. We've got dedicated coaches, team leaders, and community managers. And we got a private group for posting assignments. In Module 1, we go through the history of crypto. You're going to read the Bitcoin white paper, learn about the discovery or creation of Ethereum, stablecoins, the DeFi summer of 2020 and beyond. Module 2, you're going to get to work. You're going to buy Bitcoin, Ethereum. You're going to set up your centralized exchanges like Coinbase and Kraken. You're going to set up your hot wallet on MetaMask, your cold wallet on Ledger, and you're going to do your first decentralized finance transaction, all in week 2, right? We don't play games here. Week 3, we go heavy into DeFi. You're going to lend out your money and earn returns on it. You're going to do liquidity pools and options. And in week 4, we're going to show you how to take that portfolio and multiply it and multiply it and multiply it. I've taken all of my experience on Wall Street, all of my experience in crypto, and put it all into this course. Again, I teach this live. I take this very seriously, and we start on Monday. So look, if you've already missed this whole wave of crypto, it's not too late. but you've got to start taking some action. And this one's a no-brainer, in my opinion. Like I said, we start Monday, highly discounted, and in 4 weeks, you're going to be ready to go. And then from there, you can start growing your wealth accordingly. You're actually pre-approved to buy if you're on this call at londonreal.tv/buy. Trust me, click the link, pull out the plastic, and just join me. It'll be the best decision you make this year, bar none. And also just want to give everybody a free, my 8-step trading checklist. You can take a screenshot of this if you want. We'll give it to you on the course. But if you go through each one of these steps before you make a trade, you're going to save a lot of money, probably tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of dollars over your trading lifetime. And I'll teach you everything I know about this industry. Folks, this is the new news. Everyone's asking, is it the Rockefellers or the Rothschilds? What is the future of these families that are going to turn into these massive wealth conglomerates? And what are you doing is my question, because Bitcoin is really quietly on the brink of this $84 trillion price earthquake. And what does that mean? Well, we're looking right now at what we call these Bitcoin dynasties. And, you know, the Trump family is one that's amassing it. I know some very prominent families in the Middle East that are doing this. And I know some big players in China and Asia that are doing this right now. And whereas in the past, this was done through industrial enterprises, this is done with land, this was done with other technology. Now this is going to be done with cryptocurrency. Does that concept make sense to everybody here? Adrian, seems like you're with me. Sandeep is with me as well, right? And there's even an interesting argument right now of people going out saying, you know what? Work is for chumps. The future is about ownership. It's not about working. It's about what do you own? And that's a weird concept for me because I grew up saying, you work, the harder you work, the more you get. The harder work, the more you get. But the truth is, it's the smarter you work, right? I know Adrian's with me here. I can see you looking at me. So working smarter means get hold of these digital assets sooner. Because if you work for the man and put your money in the savings account, you can work so hard over the next 20 years and have nothing. But what if you start investing in digital assets now? You know, there's a great line in the movie Wall Street where Gordon Gekko looks at Bug Fox and he's like, I don't do anything. I own. That's what he says. I create nothing. I own. And it's like, whoa, what did he just say? He didn't create anything. He just owns. And so this really could be the future. Let me tell you one other crazy thing that'll blow your mind. And Sam, you might like this one. The Trump family, after 70 years of working in the trenches of real estate, amassed maybe $1 billion, $1.5 billion in wealth, right? In the last 3 years, they've doubled or tripled that in crypto. Think about that. Just think about that. Through Trump's dad and Trump and the kids and the hotels and all that. And then think about the last 3 years just going into crypto. They've doubled or tripled that. So even one of the greatest entrepreneurial families in the world realized this, made a pivot, and is now making multiples on what they made over 70 years. Does that blow anybody away here? Right? If that wasn't evidence, this is the new evidence, right? This is the new industrial revolution. This is the new tech revolution. And anybody can get in on it, but you have to pull the trigger. You have to stop watching it and doing it. For most of the people here on this call, you got to stop watching videos and stop reading articles and get out there and pull the trigger on these things. That's the only way to do it. And again, Trump's just announced another announcement recently where their World Liberty Financial, which is their decentralized finance protocol, they just announced that they've now created a treasury company for that. So this is a publicly listed vehicle on the New York Stock Exchange that's sole purpose is to buy tokens of World Liberty Financial. Why? Well, not everybody can buy tokens right now. So if you want to buy access to Trump's DeFi company, you can now buy a stock on the New York Stock Exchange. And this is the latest rage. It's called treasury companies, right? I'm currently advising on an XRP treasury company. There'll be an announcement in the next couple of weeks. I'm advising on another Bitcoin treasury company. This is the future. And some of our companies, and Martini, I might even say some of the ones I showed you today, might soon have their own treasury companies as well. And this is another way to just give it a huge boost of injection and liquidity, because when there's a stock or a company that's buying up tokens, guess what? It pushes our tokens up as well. And so this is just another evidence, a piece of evidence of what these families are going to create. And of course, now people are calling for 150K Bitcoin, which is not a far stretch at all from its all-time high. It's 20% above the all-time high. And Ethereum, now people are calling for $10,000. I've even heard 20,000, 40,000. Tom Lee, who has, I think, the biggest Ethereum treasury company, I think he owns $3 or $4 billion now of Ethereum. He the other day said, I think Ethereum's going to 70,000. Okay, that's a 14x from where we are today. And of course, Standard Chartered Bank just called for $500,000 Bitcoin. Could that happen this cycle? It's not going to happen this year. So if the crypto cycle ends this year and we have a bear market in 26, which is very possible, that's historically what happened, then I don't think we're hitting 500K. But if it continues, then we very well could. And again, what I've learned, one thing about this space is never, ever underestimate how wrong you can be in crypto. So I could be wrong. And folks, we've now heard that a new wave or a $15 trillion earthquake is heading straight for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. My question to you is, are you invested enough? Here you are on this call. You know crypto is the next big thing. But if crypto does what you think it's going to do, Adrian and Sandeep and Sam and Ramana, are you going to make millions of dollars in the next 4 months? If the answer isn't yes, then what are you doing, right? I would hate for you to look back in February and said, yep, I knew all that was going to happen. I called it. I posted on my X. It's like, okay, what did you make? $3, $4, or $5 million? I made 40 grand. Okay. Then why? What's the point of this? You know, I missed the tech revolution 25 years ago. I waited most of my life for this. I'm not going to wait another 25 years. It's going to happen right now. And it means going into the fear and pulling the trigger. And that's what we're doing. Folks, a lot of you know I ran to be mayor of London recently, and I actually ran on a pro freedom of speech and pro crypto platform. I wanted all the voting to be on the blockchain. I wanted the budget of London to be on the blockchain. And I also wanted the creation of the London coin. I was actually going to put 100 pounds of crypto in the wallet of every man, woman, and child to actually give them the financial education they deserve. Of course, they weren't ready for me in London. Sandeep, they voted for the other guy. So I'm just going to make all of you rich instead. Does that sound good? It's more fun. It's more fun doing it that way anyways. And so that's why I spend 6 months of the year in Dubai. And this is my studio there because I still understand it's the center of crypto. And what I do is I build the relationships there that'll create the deals that'll make you millions of dollars. And here I am with Dr. Marwan Al-Zaruni. He's become a good friend, runs the Dubai Blockchain Center and the AI Center. He's highly plugged into crypto. This is Uni Wong. She's a crypto influencer, big on meme coins. A tweet from her can move markets. This is Carl Moon. He was working as a grocery store clerk in Sweden a few years ago, and now he's a crypto billionaire. Yeah, I've seen the Bugatti. I've seen it all. And so when I see and hear from people like you that say, Brian, I don't have enough money. I'm so busy right now. I got a job. I just laugh because none of you are worse off than being a grocery store clerk in Sweden. I'm sorry, but you're not. And yet he made it happen. So why can't you? Because you don't believe? Because you're too scared? Maybe. But you can do it. So please don't tell me you can't. This is Chris MM Crypto. He was driving a taxi in Germany a few years ago, and now he's a crypto billionaire. Okay, I know him very well in Dubai. These guys ball like nobody's business. Like Chris has a van, a Mercedes-Benz van. It's like a, I don't know, it's like one of those airport transport vehicles, Martini. And he's got a driver. And I'm like, you going to the conference? He's like, yeah, I'm taking my van over. He's like, I got a bathroom in the back. I got a widescreen TV. Sometimes I get a massage. And then I make sure that when I'm traveling over, I can record my videos. And then if I'm in the conference and I need a break, I go out to my van and I'm like, okay, it's just like a whole nother level. When Carl goes traveling, he books a jet to take him to Paris, and he books another jet for the Bugatti to come with him, right? Now, I'm not saying you have to do this with your money. That's your business. But I'm just saying there's another level. And these guys made it happen from taxi car drivers, taxi cabs, and grocery store clerks. So don't tell me you can't do it. You can. It's just whether you can free your mind and get out of all that programming. Folks, right now we're investing over $5 million into 15 different blockchain and AI deals this quarter. Why do I tell you that? Because we are plugged in. We know what's hot, what's not. And if you come on these calls, you're going to see some of the hottest deals on the planet. And it's all because of London Real Ventures. This is the world's first media-powered investment firm. This has never been done in history. No one's ever dared take a massive media company like London Real with 14 years, 1 billion views, 5 million followers on social media, and combined it with a venture capital company with $25 million in capital. You put these two together, magic happens. Magic looks like this. This is our portfolio, all right? What you see here is the best of the best, the creme de la creme of Web3 investments. Each one of these companies with the potential to become the next $2, $5, $10 billion protocol. and along the way, making every single one of my members in the investment club filthy rich. And that's my goal. And what you see here is decentralized finance protocols. You see artificial intelligence on the blockchain. You see gaming companies. You see billion-dollar funds. This is what we're doing behind the scenes, and you can be a part of it. And right now, we've just passed a major milestone. We've crossed over $22 billion invested into over 100 blockchain and AI companies. Folks, we are bigger than most venture capital companies in blockchain, all right? And we started, as a broadcasting channel. And now we're bigger than most of those players, and we're just getting warmed up. And we're the best we've ever been right now. Now, you could have started with us 4 years ago when we were just getting started, but now we know what we're doing, and we're just going to the next level. Folks, one of the reasons we win is because we invest alongside of the big money. I'm talking about $10 billion funds, okay? Things you've heard of like Coinbase Ventures, ARK Invest, that's Cathie Woods, Andreessen Horowitz, Galaxy Digital, even Warner Brothers Music. And that's one of the reasons we make a lot of these big returns. And of course, recently we were voted the best venture capital KOL of the year. KOL stands for Key Opinion Leader. And I was excited in Singapore to accept this award on the behalf of all the members of our investment club. And of course, a lot of you know, I just received the Lifetime Achievement Award at the Global Family Office Summit for our media and our investment knowledge. And it was really great to receive that from some really esteemed people. And look, the entire crypto community knows who we are. They know who we are here at London Real Ventures, and they know who we are at London Real. And that's because we constantly represent. And so recently, when the Crypto Fight Night called me up and said, Brian, how would you like to jump in the ring? This young man has been talking some trash about you. I thought, you know what? I'm going to lace up these gloves and teach these young kids some manners, right, Sandeep? Kids these days, And so I had to get in there and, show them what's what. And apparently now he wants some more. And so October 1st, Singapore is the rematch. Get your tickets now. Folks, we think the greatest way to predict the future is just to go out there and create it. How many people try to live their life that way? How many people want to live their life that way? Come on, anybody with me here? Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Sandeep. If not, get off my call. I don't need your negative vibes around me, right? We're going to change the world. We did it in 2020 when they tried to come after us. You remember, Sandeep, right? $1 trillion tech companies trying to shut us down, government three-letter organizations trying to tell us what to do. We said, to hell with all you. We're going to create our own platform. We're going to do the biggest live stream in the world. And we fought back and won. And we're going to do it again right here. And that's exactly what our plan is. And of course, it all comes down to our mission statement. And this is written on our wall here at our London Real World headquarters. And we're here to create a mass scale transformation of humanity into a fully empowered, conscious, and cooperative species. We're not like the rest of the people out there. We're not like your mainstream media and your big tech and your big pharma and all those nonsense companies. We're not trying to take away your power and to take away your consciousness and to make you fight with each other. We're here to do this together. And that's one of the reasons we attract these investments. But of course, a lot of you know, for me, it's not just business, it's also personal, because I got these two handsome devils to look out for. This is Caden on the right. He just turned 9. This is Damon in the middle. He literally just turned 8. And what can I say? I have to look out for their futures, right? And I'm worried. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm worried that 10 years from now, their lives are going to be dominated by robots powered by AI. I'm worried their banks are going to censor their transactions. I'm worried their governments are going to print so much money that they're going to have nothing left. And so when it comes to 2035, when Caden and Damon come to me and say, Papa, where's our Bitcoin? I'm not going to give them some excuse. And so look, I'm guessing a lot of you people have people in your life you have to take care of. Raise your hand if you got somebody you're looking out for, or maybe somebody in the future. Your parents aren't getting any younger, are they? Right? Well, what are you going to tell them 10 years from now? Oh, it was the government. They printed too much money. That's why I can't help you. Right? Are you going to give some excuse? I hope you don't, because they're not going to want to hear it. And the truth is this, is that Papa wakes up every single day and I have to take massive risk, because otherwise I'm not going to be able to create any value and make any money. If you want reward, you must take risk. And so every day I wake up in the morning and I look at the scariest thing out there and I try to force myself to do it. And that's the only way I can guarantee any type of success or long-term value creation over time. Does that make sense to everybody here? There's that old phrase, playing it safe is the most dangerous thing you can do. And yet most of you, that's exactly what you're doing. Oh, no, I'm not ready. No, that sounds risky. Maybe later. Okay, well, great. You're going to be rewarded accordingly with a whole lot of nothing. Okay, so think about this. Think about who you're doing this for. Think about your family and think about your future. Folks, this is Michael Saylor. and he thinks Bitcoin is the apex property of the human race. Michael owns $75 billion worth of Bitcoin, and he's currently buying another $40 billion. Michael thinks that each Bitcoin is going to $13 million each. And he believes that AIs and ETFs are going to power a decade-long gold rush for Bitcoin. Now, a lot of people in my Crypto and DeFi Academy now say, Brian, where should I get my information about crypto? What website do I go to? Who do I follow? And I'm like, you know what? Forget the websites. Forget Twitter. What you need to do is learn from the OGs in this space. Learn from the Michael Saylors. Learn from the Dan Tapieros. Learn from the Yatsus. Listen to them for 10 hours, 20 hours, 50 hours. That's how you learn. Now, Michael was on our show twice. He's obviously done huge things for crypto. I actually